Hello and welcome to Better Than Yesterday. This is an episode of BTY Raw and you're listening to Michael Janse van Rensburg, and I'm here to talk to you guys today about how to switch up your mentality. So this is actually my first time doing a video like this where I'm all by myself. Usually if you've ever watched this channel before, it'll be me and my friend Daniel having a conversation about some kind of topic, and we always have that back and forth. But this is a new series that we are doing called BTY Raw. Daniel's already filmed a couple that have been amazing. It's been so cool to hear his info and his input on these amazing topics. But this is my first time doing a BTY Raw, and I'm here by myself to talk to you guys, about how to switch up your mentality and how to go from being negative to becoming someone who is positive, because that's a switch up that I had to go through. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today, and walking you guys through how that happened in my life and how you can implement that in your own lives as well. But excited to do this, and I'm excited at the growth that we can see from just speaking to the camera by ourselves as well, and sharing those maybe more personal topics as well. So I would say growing up I was actually quite a negative person. When I was younger, I had quite a negative outlook on the world. I don't know if any of you can relate to this. Sometimes it's almost like the popular thing is to be like sad and like negative and depressed. It's almost like glorified in media today. You see a lot of songs and a lot of celebrities where they have this sort of depressed mood and vibe about them, and it's almost like it's cool to be like that. And when I was younger, I sort of fell into that mentality where I was just negative about things. When you asked me about the world and about society, I'd be like, oh yeah, it all sucks, man. This is, everything's messed up. Like, oh, it's also, and what did I have to complain about? I lived such a privileged life, and I had so many blessings, and I had nothing to be negative about, really. Obviously, we all go through difficulties, but I really, had a poor outlook and a negative mentality. And thankfully, I became aware of this at some point, and I realized immediately that this is something that I had to change, And an amazing thing is going from being that negative person into being the positive person that I am today. And anyone who knows me now, and if you've watched this channel for a period of time, positivity does come and shines out of me, and that's something that I've worked on, because I've had to develop myself into being a positive person. And I can honestly say that there's infinite benefits to being more positive in your life. So first of all, when you go from being someone who's negative to being someone who's positive, how you actually do the practicality of changing your mindset, what I would say is that it's changing your mindset from being a victim to someone who is a victor. And obviously that's a nice little bit of alliteration there, but it actually really means something, because when I was in that negative state, I felt like I was the victim. I felt like the world was unfair on me, like, oh, why does this happen bad to me? And like, I just blamed everything on the world around me, and I felt like I was a victim to my situation and my environment. Instead, and how I went from that mindset into being someone who's more positive is I had to train myself and realize, like, the world's not out to get you. Like, you are all, we are all living like similar lives. Me and Daniel have spoken about this kind of thing before, where sometimes we think we're so special that it's all happening to us, but we all go through a lot of the same things, and having that victim mentality is just not useful in any way, and that's what causes you to be negative. So what you've got to look at rather is there's this line that I like here, and it's like, instead of saying what can I get from life, like why is life not giving me all these, like, everything I want, and what more can I get from life, what more can I get, what you should rather say is like, what more can I give to this life? You know what I mean? And that's like a big thing that changed it from being the victim to being the victor, because you start thinking, okay, cool, how can I actually be a blessing to the people around me? How can I actually make a difference and improve other people's lives? And by improving other people's lives and giving to everyone else and giving to the world around you, it improves your own life so much. They say it's better to give than to receive. So, when you actually do a kind act for someone, you'll get more happiness from that than if they had done that for you. You know what I mean? So, that's one of the biggest things is stop asking, what can I get from this life? And start asking, what can I give to this life? And that's really going to help you from being someone who's negative into being someone who's positive. from someone who has a victim mentality to someone who has a victor mentality, which means that they get the victory in all situations. And there's this cool quote from this rapper Santan Dave, and it's from his song Voices on the album Psychodrama. And when I first heard this, I'd just gone through that change up in mentality, and it really resonated. But it says, made so many wrong decisions till I fell in love with optimism. And that's just a little line, a little bit of a pop culture reference there for anyone who listens to Santan Dave. Let us know in the comments. Brilliant UK artist, rapper. But why that's important is you really do need to fall in love with optimism. There's nothing attractive about being negative. There's nothing attractive about being a victim. Whereas if you look at someone who's positive and someone who's a victor and gets the victory, that's extremely attractive. That's exactly what you want in your life. If you were to look at someone else and you see that they are this negative person and they always are saying like, oh, why does this happen to me? Why does this happen to me? Whereas you see the person who is positive and saying, what can I give to life? What can I give to life? That's the kind of person that you would look up to. And that's the kind of person that you should want to be. And therefore, yeah, that's exactly, what that lyric is saying in that song. And that's why you've got to fall in love with optimism. But yeah, that's my thoughts on how you can switch up your mentality, is just start ridding yourself of these lies that we sometimes have in our brains, And I think be very ruthless in the way that you do that, When you start to think these negative thoughts like, oh, why is the world like this? And why is society like this? And, why was I born this way? This kind of thing, all those negative thoughts. Be ruthless in cutting those thoughts out. As soon as it enters your mind, say, no, I don't allow those kind of thoughts in my head, because I'm no longer a negative person. I'm no longer a victim. I'm a positive person who strives for victory and strives to give things into life rather than asking what can I get from life, you know what I mean? So be ruthless in cutting out those thoughts. And, they say that the soul reflects the color of the mind and the color of your thoughts. So if you're thinking negative things the whole time, it's going to shine out badly, But if you're thinking positive things, people will be able to see that, and your own life will just improve so much. So yeah, those are my thoughts. That's my advice on switching up your mentality. It's something that I think if you haven't gone through already, yeah, try and implement these techniques into your life, because it's infinitely better for your own life and for yourself, but it allows you to then positively impact people around you. Instead of bringing people down, you're actually bringing them up with you onto a higher state, and isn't that what we want? So yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. This is my first time speaking to the camera by myself, but I really enjoyed it, and looking forward to recording more of these BTY Raw episodes where we discuss different topics. And yeah, we'll be back very shortly. And yeah, if you guys did enjoy the video, leave a like, consider subscribing for more content like this focused around self-improvement, investing, all for young people, and how we can become the best versions of ourselves and to be better than the person you were yesterday. Thanks so much guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.